one of the things that's added on over time are columns. But people tend to put columns to support, reinforce, add some strength to the house in that lower level, the basement or even crawl space, in areas of a home that where the floor perhaps is sagging to some degree. And the one thing too, and I mentioned briefly from our last session, is the transition or the flow of parts to the house go from it's a joist resting on a beam supported by a column resting on a footing supported by the ground. So it's, in essence, if you look at any one of these, we're looking at joist, beam, column, footing, ground. Now, the only one that we don't see a footing right here is this one right here. And interestingly enough, of these four concerns here relative to columns, the one thing that is different of all four of these is the fact that this column is resting on top. It might be difficult to tell, but it's resting on top of the concrete. You can see just that little flange right there. So when you see, when we're in the basement, we're looking at the columns. Number one, do all the columns look alike? Another clue, the fact is that if there's a column that's not original, it's not going to look like the other ones, the other two or three. So if you see a column that's not like the other ones, real quickly, you should be able to determine or surmise that it's not the original to the house. Also, too, if it's been added on later, chances are probably 90% that it's resting on top of the slab. It's not resting on the footing, which is below the level of the slab. Remember, the floating slab, that floating slab does nothing to hold the house up. It's that footing underneath. Hopefully that's installed properly, that's transferring the weight to the ground. So in all these situations here, for example, with column concerns, that we're not in position to necessarily dictate the cause.